Alright, for tonight's homework help, this is section 7.3, part 1. We're talking about our trig ratio, so our sine, cosine, and tangent. I'm going to start with number 14 here today, and I'm going to go ahead and draw the triangle just so I have something to refer to here. Sorry, it's not a very pretty triangle. That's triangle GJH. And I know that GJ is 1, JH is 2, and then my hypotenuse is the square root of 5. So what these problems told us to do was to find the sine, cosine, and tangent of the acute angles. So I need to find the sine, cosine, and tangent of both angle H and angle G. So you're actually going to have 6 answers on this one. So I'll go ahead and I'll start with angle G. And if I want to find the sine of G, I use my SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. And so, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So if I'm working with angle G, the side opposite from angle G will be 2 over my hypotenuse, which is the square root of 5. And if we express that as a decimal, you should get 0.8944. Now I need to find the cosine of G, which if we look at our cosine here, that's adjacent over hypotenuse. So the side adjacent to angle G is 1 over my hypotenuse, which is again root 5. And if we express this as a decimal, we get 0.4472. And then my tangent of G, tangent again is equal to opposite over adjacent, so that would be equal to 2 over 1, which would be 2.0000 if we express it with 4 decimal places. All right. Now we also need to find all of those values for angle H. So if I come and I find the sine of angle H, I again do opposite over hypotenuse, which would be equal to, 1 over root 5. Which if I find 2 4 decimal points is 0.4472. The cosine of H is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. The adjacent side would be 2. Again, hypotenuse is root 5. And I get 0.8944 when I round to 4 decimal places. And lastly, I need the tangent of H, which would be equal to opposite over adjacent, which equals 1 over 2, which to 5 decimal places will be 0.5000. Alright, and the last one that I'm going to do is number 32, where we are asked to find the value of each variable and round to the nearest hundredth. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that triangle in here for 32. And I know that this angle down here is 70 degrees. I know this side length is 9. This is W, and this is V. Alright, so I'm going to start out, I think, trying to find V. So let me underline that. I'm focusing on finding V right now. And I need to figure out what pieces of information I know that can allow me to find V. Well, I know this angle 70 degrees. Alright. And I know the side opposite from that, which is 9. So V is also the hypotenuse of that triangle. So what I can do is I can say that the sine of 70 degrees would be equal to the opposite side, which is 9 over my hypotenuse, V. And I can solve this equation for V. So what I will do, is I will multiply by V on both sides, and I will have V times the sine of 70 degrees is equal to 9. And then in order to finish getting V by itself, I need to divide both sides by the sine of 70 degrees. And I get V is equal to 9 over the sine of 70 degrees, which when you put that into your calculator, you get about 9.6 for V. And now I'm going to go back and I'm going to find W. So that's my next job. So I need to see how I can relate my angle of 70, my W, and then that side 9 that I know. And I noticed that the tangent of 70 degrees would be equal to the opposite, which is 9, over my adjacent side, which is W. And would solve that equation now for W. Again, I will multiply by W on both sides. W times the tangent of 70 is equal to 9. And now I will divide by the tangent of 70. And get W is equal to 9 over the tangent of 70 degrees, which, when you put that into your calculator, you get about 3.3. Good luck with the rest of your homework.